Live.
And we're live. It's the camera shop talk. It's camera shop talk for Monday. And what's today's day? Doesn't matter.
April. It doesn't matter. Nobody can get a haircut still.
I know. It's the 13th, and we have a special guest with us. She's a Denver-based editorial and commercial photographer. Her name is Brittni Bell. And she's right here with us. So hello.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. We've been doing this show for how long now, Mitch?
If you would tell us the correct date, I would know. But
doesn't matter what date it is.
I feel like 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
3 weeks. It's like this is our third week, and you are our first kind of editorial commercial photographer that does food photography.
Very cool.
Yeah, and so we're super excited to talk about taking photographs of food. I don't know about Mitch. Don't ask what Mitch has been eating during this whole ordeal, because
only healthy things.
Like Hamburger Helper and
no, I grow my own carrots. And I and I eat like kale. A lot of kale. Yeah. Full vegan diet.
Vegan diet.
Definitely. Yeah.
Is vegan frozen pizzas, and he orders the vegan specialties from Jimmy John's. So, but
Chick-fil-A
and some Chick-fil-A. But over at my casa, we've got a lot of people who are much better at cooking than I am, and so I'm trying to keep up. But I think we voted that I am most improved roommate when it comes to cooking and making things. And so we have a lot of good looking stuff that needs to be photographed, and I just haven't gotten to it. Plus we kind of make dinner late and there's no window light left,
Yeah.
There's my roommate right there. Most improved. He's right behind me. So we wanted to kind of talk about food photography. You do a lot of beverage cocktails.
Yeah.
Cocktail photography. Yeah. We're going to show some of those, and then, but first, kind of like, how did you get into food photography? You're not from Denver.
I'm not. So I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I went to college there. And it must have been, I think it was in college that I kind of started photographing, not food, but a lot of like still lives with nature and things. Anyway, so I knew I liked subjects that didn't move.
Sure.
And then I got an internship in Pittsburgh with a really great food photographer. His name's Adam Milliron. And that's when I really fell in love with food. And he taught me like everything I ever wanted to know. So, and since then I was like, okay, I have to do food.
Sweet. You moved to Denver, and now you run the game.
Yeah, moved to Denver.
I mean, who's really from Denver?
I mean, there aren't a lot of people.
Nobody's from Denver. Well, actually, we have somebody saying hi from Italy.
Oh, someone from Italy. Yeah, let's show it. Love from Italy. Hello, Italy.
Oh, hi.
How do you say love in Italian? Amore. Amore?
Is that Italian or is that?
Amore. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie. Start charging if I keep singing, so I'm going to stop. But so I like your food photography. Let's show some of it to start off, and then we can. Hey, he's watching. Boom.
Adam, hi.
Yeah, Amore. There we go. But let's show off some of your work to begin this whole show, and then we'll go from there. And so what I like about your photography, Brittni, is it's not all like taking a picture of a cocktail is super easy if you just put it on a counter and have some like window light and stuff like that. But I feel like your stuff is always at like a unique angle.
Well, there's some movement too,
right?
Which is nice. I like that there's actually motion blur in some of the stuff that's being applied.
Oh, I'm gonna unblock Brittni's face. There we go. I said I was gonna do that before we got here. There. So what kind of what's your go-to lens when you're shooting?
I shoot a ton with my 100 millimeter, the 2.8 L series. I shoot Canon. Yeah. So I shoot a ton with that macro. I also just shoot with like just a 50 millimeter.
You do like the 1.2 or just like the basic 50 1.8?
I have the 1.4. I've been debating if I want to go to the 1.2, and I've played with it, and I don't know. I'll make the jump soon, but
yeah, it's not my favorite lens, but I wish that's the one lens I wish they would come out with like a second version of it, or even a version 2 of the 1.4.
Well, they did come out with a version 2 of the 1.2.
Yeah, really?
It's just the RF version. It's all going to be mirrorless now.
No,
but
I'm talking about an EF. See, this is where you and I are just going to disagree. They're never going to come out with.
They won't. They're not going to come out with a 1.2 EF.
But Brittni doesn't shoot mirrorless. She shoots on a 60 Mark II.
No, I have
5D Mark IV.
Yeah,
there we go.
I bought the Mark IV.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
Everybody's gonna end up there. That's all I'm saying. Everybody's gonna end up there.
No, 5D Mark IV is a killer camera.
It is.
No, I love it. Oh, I'm saying I bought it on sale on like eBay instead of buying it from you, but
oh gosh.
I know, I'm sorry.
Gosh.
I didn't want to tell you.
And so that's kind of your kit, 100 millimeter and 50 millimeter. Do you ever shoot like 35 millimeter or not really?
Not really. I do have a 16 to 35 that like when I'm shooting interiors or if I'm in a really tight spot and have to use it, it's kind of my like, but yeah, I shoot probably 90 or maybe like 80% with my 100. And then,
cool.
Yeah, I love that lens.
Our coworker, Paul, he does like commercial product photography, like bottles and makeup and like little pieces of things. That's his go-to lens too. He loves that. So
yeah, there's like little distortion and it's just like crispy and beautiful. And yeah, if I can get away with it, I'd use that.
Just back up and shoot. Yeah. For sure. Let's keep going here. I kind of started us at a different waffles. I like the colors in here. So this is this 100 millimeter or is this 50? Or you don't have to tell me.
I can't remember. I think that's the 100.
100, yeah.
I know. During this like part of the shoot, I was switching back and forth to get like that's Wes from Death & Co. So I was like getting some of it was like portraits of him, some of it was of the toast. So I was kind of I don't remember.
Hands. There's some more motion. Yeah. So I like your food photography has movement to it, even though you think you like shooting things that stand still.
Which I think I don't really see that a lot in food photography, and that's kind of like the perfect shutter speed on that one too, because you can see just enough of the speed of those little juice drops.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I think is great. So
for everyone like kind of watching and wondering, do you bring lights or is it all available light or what?
It depends. Like this one was natural. The last one of the toast was artificial. Because it was shot in a kitchen.
Sure.
I had them turn all the lights in the kitchen off and just shot with like a quick strobe off to the side. So yeah, it depends. It depends on where I'm going and what I'm doing.
Right.
A lot of times for restaurants, they have me in like during service.
Okay.
So I try to not bring like big distracting lights that are like constantly going off and disturbing guests, but
right.
Yeah.
I love like you make your cocktails look like well, they are the subject, but they're like almost in their own scene, which is pretty neat.
Thanks.
And so, do you just kind of wander around the restaurant looking for a good spot to take the photo?
Yeah, for sure. If I have like a plate or a glass, you can literally watch me walk around the restaurant and I'm like holding it up. And yeah, sometimes I build a little scene like that. This particular image, I brought like whatever that floral arrangement was. It was like across the restaurant. So I brought it and kind of like framed it. That was that was intentional. But yeah, sure. A lot of times I'm just like wandering around and trying to find the best light or something fun, lots of shadows or.
Right. We have one table up here in my house that is got this big old window. And so everywhere, every time we make food, I bring it up there. I try to take a picture on my cell phone because I'm too lazy to go grab my camera, which is ridiculous because it's right there and it hasn't been used for like a week, right? Or not a week, like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I just need to like leave my camera put together in my room. That way, when I make something to eat, I can actually go take a picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to show you something, and I don't want you to judge me. Hold on. Here we go. See if I can get this to share. 3 weeks in, I'm still trying to figure out how to share things on the screen. It's kind of embarrassing. Oh, here we go. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is this food photo? I want you to be completely honest with me.
Okay.
I didn't try very hard, but look at the light on these homemade donuts.
Did your roommate make those today?
My roommate made donuts today from scratch. He had the bread and everything. Mm-hmm. And so actually, to be honest, he put all the donuts on the cutting board. He's a wedding photographer. And he brought it to the window light, which what I would have done, but he did it for me. And I just did a flat lay,
It's not bad. I think it just needs a little bit of editing, like brighten it up a little bit, add some contrast.
Right.
This is shadow. Sharpen it up a little bit.
But yeah, sharpen it. Are you saying it's not sharp? It's like kind of soft.
Did you shoot this with your phone?
I shot this with my phone.
Yeah. So everything that I shoot with my phone,
mm-hmm.
I sharpen a little bit in whatever app I'm using.
So what are like tips? So one thing I did right was find window light.
Yes,
right?
That's my number one tip. Find window light.
Number 2 is find maybe a textured background or something like that to put it on.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of people who are watching are probably going to try to do what they see on Instagram all the time, which is a flat lay if they have their food. Mm-hmm. Right? Should they fill the frame with their food, or should they cut off part of the bowl or something? I
like kind of cutting it off. If you don't know obviously you guys know what rule of thirds are, but
right.
Google the rule of thirds and try to kind of follow that. I
on your
kind of fall off the frame. Maybe add another element like a napkin or a plate or something to kind of give it a little more dimension, so it's not just flat background and then the donuts.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching. Who was I watching? Who's a famous YouTuber? The photographer guy.
Us.
That's us. I was watching her. Yeah. Was it Peter
McKinnon?
McKinnon?
Yeah, he does all the slow-mo coffee.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
But he was talking about how to make your product photography look cooler. If you're just doing it at home with your cell phone, and he used the back of a cookie sheet that looked all nasty and gross.
Yeah, that's something Adam taught me, if he's still here. But yeah, he has this entire collection of just old cookie sheets that are different levels of rusty or gross. Yeah.
So find that beat up cookie sheet that
it's
putting back in the oven after you use the good one, mm-hmm. and then use it as a background or something.
I always, every time I'm in a conversation about food photography, I hear something that I would not have expected to be done. Actually, that was one question I had. What's the weirdest fake?
I'm gonna take my photo of these donuts off before people start thinking that you took this.
That's my photo of the donuts.
Hey guys.
I didn't even think of that. Thank you.
Yeah. There we go. Here's some real good stuff here. So.
Wait. So what were you saying, Mitch? The weird.
Well, do you use any kind of weird? I think sometimes they use motor oil and certain products to make it look more, or with hamburgers. I know they put cardboard in between the patties sometimes to make it look fluffier. Do you do any of those kind of weird tricks on some stuff?
Yeah. So food styling is definitely going more natural than it had been. So I don't know any food stylists that use motor oil, but maybe molasses, or there's different cooking oils and things. I'm not a food stylist, so I can't really speak a ton on that. But
So it's different then, huh? So like you have your food stylist and then you click the photo.
Yeah. And I mean, I work with food stylists if there's larger budgets, and maybe if it's more like commercial. My on location shoots rarely have, like for restaurants and stuff, rarely have food stylists.
It's also coming like straight from the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. So it's generally all like just completely natural.
Yeah.
What it actually look like.
Every shoot, I bring my tweezers and like a little bit of olive oil. So if I'm shooting something like a burger and it kind of is looking a little dead, you can brush the burger with a paintbrush or with oil on a paintbrush, and it kind of like brings that sheen back. It makes it look not as dead. And then I guess the one thing, you can put glycerin and water in a spray bottle and spritz your beers or your glasses if they're looking not as cold. That's another little trick.
We had a meetup at the camera shop. It was like a bottle share with a Denver beer. Was a Denver Beertography group or something like that, and they brought like this mist that they sprayed on the bottle, and it made it like anti-glare. It's very sheeny. It was pretty cool.
I forget what that's called, but yeah, if you Google, like, there's like some matte spray too. Like, so if you're shooting a flat lay and there's a really shiny spoon, you can just like quickly spray it with that stuff.
Oh, that's cool. I never knew about that.
Yeah, so you can't like see your reflection and see the camera and everything in it. It kind of just like
So you do a lot of work with the restaurant down the street. Everyone, if you don't follow Brittni on Instagram, you need to, because it's like a hunger trap, because everything you post, I'm just like, man, I need a dulling spray. He's still watching, in case you were wondering.
Spray. He is still
Adam from the rescue.
It's sort of stressing me out. It's making me anxious.
But you know, food, is this artificially lit or is this natural? I mean,
that's natural. Natural. So Uchi, which is where that was shot, they have a whole wall, like a brick wall, and they have glass bricks kind of scattered between it. And so at like a certain time, we're always shooting in the evenings when I've shot there. When the light kind of go like direct sunbeam through the glass bricks, it makes this really cool like speckled light that, I mean, I think it's in another photo that I sent as well, but this it was just a particular like sunbeam and I backlit it.
Let me see. I was like that.
Not in there. That's somewhere else, but
somewhere else.
Sort of the same thing though, like a direct sunbeam through this window. That was natural.
Sure. Let's see.
That was natural as well.
Cool.
I lucky on that one.
At the Rockies, I think we kind of stuck with whatever light you get when you're shooting sports, and so I appreciate photographers who take advantage of just the light around them instead of it. And not that shooting artificial light isn't cool, but
Kyle, what are you trying to say?
So this is more like commercial, right?
Yes, it's like commercial lifestyle,
right?
Ish, yeah.
And so that's kind of cool. And then you also
artificial.
Was that?
That's artificial light. Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. And then you do some cool, like, let's see. I'm just cruising your photos. There we go. And so this is it's in the new hotel, or the newer hotel.
What is this? That's Death and Co.
Yeah, Death and Co. Cool. So you got some big clients.
Yeah, slowly.
Cool.
Got there.
Slowly, yeah.
Took me a minute, but
I met Brittni when she first moved to Denver. Or had you just moved to Denver, or you'd been here for a little while?
I think I'd like 6 months.
6 months, and then we went to a coffee shop that you couldn't have your laptop open because there was no internet, and so we ended up just talking about photography before we started working together at 303 Magazine. Yeah. And then, which was funny because I picked the one coffee shop in town that didn't have internet to like show photos. So,
well, and I'd gone there early to like get work done too, and I was like, well, guess I'm just gonna sit here.
Right. But so when do you just like give people laughing gas You know, is this like or do they actually have good conversations?
So I'm pretty awkward.
Sure.
So usually people are like kind of giggling about my awkwardness. Sometimes I ask people to tell like the stupidest joke they know, like basically just get people to kind of talk to each other and say stupid things. Or
right.
Sometimes I have people like just off camera. Like if I'm shooting like a single portrait, people get really stressed out. So I'll have someone just off camera, like kind of being dumb or talking to them or whatever to make it a little more natural. It was like a table full of people, and I think they were just having a conversation.
Yeah, it's better when there's like a huge group and you're just the fly on the wall and they're all talking.
Yeah, that way you can kind of move around the table and shoot like as things happen.
I think we already talked about this. Someone commented, maybe it's Mitch's mom. Is she?
That's probably my mom.
Your last name is M and your mom's first name is Pam, so I'm guessing. But she wants to know what artificial tricks to use to enhance food. I guess we already talked about that a little bit with the olive oil and
use olive oil to freshen up the like dry looking meats or something. That's my like easy, like everyone has olive oil and probably a paintbrush or at least something to apply.
Do you do like color theory stuff, like when you think about what color your food is going to be and what like where you're placing it next to another color, or do you just kind of go like that looks right? Most people don't color theory, they just like recognize what looks nice.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like sometimes it's like a conscious decision, like, oh, I'm photographing this fried chicken, which is like this orangey gold, or like an old fashioned. I want to find something blue and kind of play off that way. So sometimes it's conscious. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, it's pop, like the colors pop over here. So
sure.
Yeah.
A lot of your stuff is kind of isolated.
I like those kind of,
yeah. And I think that's when I talk about kind of like your style. I feel like this is like your style.
That one?
Yeah.
I just that was my last shoot before
all this went down.
Yep, my last like on location.
Before what went down? There's nothing going on.
There's something going on.
Everything's fine. I don't know.
Shut up, Mitch.
Yeah,
you're wrong. What have you been doing since all this? If we just to touch on the subject, because we kind of get there with every photographer that comes on, but like you had a shoot today. Client sent you stuff to take pictures.
The first one in like a month, so it's not like I've been shooting product in my house, but yeah, I did have a client send like 3 products, and I did like a little lifestyle shoot, and I made my husband hand model and like pour drinks, and yeah.
What a guy! Did you paint his nails or anything?
No. Oh, he's like a nervous biter, so he has like sad nails.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to do some sort of Photoshop match.
I'd be the worst hand model on earth. Plus, all of our hands are so dry right now from washing them.
I called him lizard hands earlier. It's just not good. It's just like
I saw that. I wasn't gonna say that on air, but I'm glad you did because I didn't have to bring it up. You said lizard hands, which is I told my girlfriend that your husband has really dry hands, and I was like, everyone's in the same boat.
Yeah. I mean, my hands are really dry too, but his, I guess, are just more. I don't know.
Anyways. You've been playing. I follow your Instagram. I follow everyone's Instagram, but you've been playing beer pong, or cocktail pong.
Cocktail pong.
So you don't put cocktails in the drink in the solo cups. You just put
it's water in the cups, and then every time you make one, you just take like a big sip of your cocktail.
Big old swig. Things get out of hand fairly fast that way.
Yeah, we try to only play on the weekends.
Okay. I'm an internationally ranked a beer pong player.
Are you really?
Yeah, I came in dead last in the 2013 World Series of beer pong. Me and my partner, dead last.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing in Las Vegas. Everything's a thing. Yeah, the winner took home like $200,000. I got a free entry through interviewing someone on the radio, but we came in dead last. We threw the last game because I didn't want to come in second to last. So we didn't make a single cup.
If you're not, last, you're
second.
You're the first loser. There you go.
Yeah, we wanted to be the ultimate loser, so we threw the last game. and gave the team that we played all of the cups, and they actually made it to the next round because we didn't make a single cup. Mm-hmm. So it was really great for them and for us. It made a better story. No one wants to be like second to last in the World Series of beer pong.
Yeah. That's nothing to brag about, but you can be like, I came in last.
We were talking about this upstairs earlier because we found some solo cups and we're like, we should play some beer pong. All 5 of us like have a little round robin. And I said, I don't know if you guys are ready for this because I'm internationally ranked, and I had to tell the story.
Internationally ranked last.
Internationally ranked last. So
yeah, it's fun. I suggest it if you've got some solo cups lying around.
Bring back the glory days of college.
Yeah. So we've been doing that. Reading. Mm-hmm. I've started painting a little bit again.
Cool. You shoot food and beverage. Do you like to? Are you a good cook?
I'm an okay cook. I'm getting better.
I mean, there's a lot of time to practice. There's a lot of time to practice now.
Yeah, for sure. My sister actually sent me a cookbook a couple months ago, so I was finally able to like dive into it, and I've been working my way through it, and so that's been fun. I've learned some like new tricks, and
sweet. My favorite thing about cooking more is that you have to clean up more dishes.
So that's the good thing about having a partner is I do most of the cooking, and when I do the cooking, he does the cleaning. So I can dirty however many dishes I want, and then he takes care of them.
Sure. And then he has to hand model for you after that. I see what you're doing there.
I've already been told that that's not happening.
You're not. You have to cook too, Mitch.
Cook and clean everything.
Cook and clean everything. Wow.
Yep. You have to do it all.
Well, just like if I want food, I'm doing it myself and cleaning it myself.
Whoa.
Bummer.
Whoa. Mitch, you sent me yesterday. We weren't hanging out together. Everyone, chill out. Okay. Whoa. You sent me an Instagram message.
Yeah.
About this Kodak thing.
I follow Kodak on Instagram, and like a million other film stock hashtags, which you can do, by the way. You can follow like Portra, and like anybody that tags their photo with Portra 400 or something, it'll show up on your feed.
The official Kodak Instagram.
Yeah,
account.
And I'm kind of obsessed with like the Portra film. I just love the colors, but this just was cool. This whole set of photos was cool because I like just the overall styling of it. It just kind of shows it's not like overdone or over exaggerated or anything. It's just them in their natural state, kind of where they're at. But the biggest thing is like the way that film makes really depressing lighting look. I don't hate hospitals, but I hate hospital lighting. It freaks me out. And like makes me feel really uncomfortable. And I really like these photos, which is not something I would normally be like, ew. But part of that is just the overall look of these. It's also shot on what is this, 4x5?
4x5, yeah.
So that helps it too, because it's a really, really big. It's a large format film, but cool pictures though, and I thought it would be cool for people to go check that out, especially with what's going on.
Yeah, it's kind of like an ode to the healthcare workers that he's taking photos of. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. But I just think the way that he has them framed and the way he represented everybody, nobody's like over smiling or over exaggerating what they're doing. It's just a nice set of photos. So.
Brittni, what's your favorite kind of food to take photos of? Is this tuna? Like ahi tuna tacos that kind of looks like it?
Think so. Yeah.
I think that would be if I were to like have to focus on food photography.
Specifically ahi tuna tacos.
Yeah. First of all, do you get to kind of eat? How many times do you get to eat the food after you take a picture of it?
So it depends on how, like sometimes we're moving very quickly. So stuff like, I don't have time to pause and taste it or eat it. Right. So stuff kind of sits out and then you don't want to eat the stuff that's sitting out.
That's true.
And we use it like, I'll save it towards the end. So I'll shoot like each dish one at a time, and the stuff that'll kind of survive sitting out, we put to the side, and then I'll shoot it in a group.
Right.
So then kind of at the end of that, you don't really want to eat it.
Especially if you have to put like olive oil on it to keep it looking fresh.
Yeah, like the more times you put olive oil on it, or the more times someone's like picking at it, you kind of don't want to touch it. But I don't know. Sometimes I get to eat it. Sometimes I'll like wrap it up and I get to take it home, and I get to try most of the cocktails. Nice. Usually, unless they have like been sitting out and they kind of get watered down, and
sure,
you can still kind of taste them, but they're not going to be the same.
Right. But I mean, like ahi tuna is it's colorful, right? Well, I guess depends what kind you get. Yeah. I'm thinking like that California tuna like sandwich or sushi sandwich.
I think that's the thing. I love shooting sushi. Ooh, shooting sushi. Boom. Yeah, which I have. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good. And then this is just, you don't do a lot of portrait work, but
no, I added that one in there because it's my favorite.
Yeah. What was what was this guy's name again? It was
that's Ray Reed.
Ray Reed. He's kind of a local Denver hip hop artist.
Yeah. So Kara, who, I mean, Kyle knows Kara. She moved to Pittsburgh. So Adam, if you're listening, I don't know, she lives where you live. Shut up, Kara. Yeah, Kara kind of roped me in. She was like, hey, what are you doing at like 3 today or whatever time we did this? And then she surprised me, and we weren't shooting food like I thought we were going to. So I was a little aggravated.
Right.
But it was a lot of fun, and they had this white wall. So I was like, okay, we're just going to make this super like studio looking. I don't know.
Right.
Anyways.
Oh, yeah, it looks kind of portrait. It looks good. I like it a lot. Do you like tattoos and photos? I love like food and beverage photos with tattoos.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
But yeah, and then what's your go-to drink before we end this?
Go-to drink?
Like yourself, if you had to make yourself a cocktail, what would it be?
Sazerac.
Sazerac.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I've been trying to play around here at the house with our liquor cabinet and our liquor table. Have you seen our liquor table? No. It's massive.
But my bar cart is running dry. It's really sad. Well, so I've been getting more creative with like whatever fruit and stuff and vodka or gin that's left on the bar cart. But yeah, if I have a choice, I usually order a Sazerac or something whiskey boozy. Yeah.
Right. Mitch, what's your go-to drink for the people?
Water.
Mitch isn't a big drinker.
I really don't drink a lot
on the show to talk about what he drinks more.
There was like one small sweet spot at one age where I was probably like 22 or something like that, and
I was worried for you for a second.
Well, no, I drank when I was, I think the first time I drank I was like 18 or something like that, but I still didn't really drink all that much.
Right.
I honestly didn't start until like 23-ish. So I was like a late drinker.
We drink a lot at the camera shop after hours.
During the shift.
Yeah, we drink during the shift. No, after hours. And because Paul, the commercial commercial photographer who does like the makeup and stuff, what I was talking about earlier, he likes to take bottles of the beer that he drinks, take pictures of the bottles of the beer that he drinks, and so he'll bring a bunch of great sours into the camera shop and we'll drink after.
I guess I will have to credit Paul with getting me to actually like a beer. Right. Before meeting Paul, I hated every single kind of beer. It didn't matter what it was, and then I had some like $32 bottle of a sour beer, and I was like, okay, it tastes like candy, so it's good.
Yeah, I love sours. That's like the only beer I'll drink, really.
Right, there are good looking beers too. So
see, I don't get that though. I don't like
photograph well.
They're usually like colorful, like reds and pinks, and instead of just like, oh, that's a yellow or brown beer.
The one that gets me is those really dark, and you guys call them chocolatey, and I have never felt like it tastes like chocolate. It just tastes like wood or sawdust to me. Those like really dark beers, and I'm like, this is terrible, and it looks like poison. It looks like straight poison. It's like after you drink it, it's still like dripping down the glass, and I'm like, that just looks like the thing that they show you in health class when they're like, this is a smoker's lung, and this is a regular lung.
You're definitely not much drinker.
Yeah, Mitch, that's called a stout, And
no, don't like it. Don't like stouts. I don't even care. I didn't know what it was called. Okay.
What's your drink before you go?
What's my drink?
Yeah.
I like whiskey sour.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with the egg white on top, so it's a little nice foam.
Mm-hmm.
I gave
slowly getting into egg white, like cocktails with egg whites. Right?
Yeah. If you have a mustache, which you don't, and Mitch doesn't, then it's not a problem. But if you have a mustache, then it kind of just like sticks to your beard. So
that's a plus for you.
It could be a plus. You could taste your cocktail a couple hours later. I'm joking. That's gross. All right. But yeah, whiskey sour. My roommate Brittni, Brittni. She made her and I a whiskey sours the other night. They were great. So.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, we're playing bartender here. So. Sweet. Well, I think that's it for today. You survived, Brittni.
So nervous.
You did it. You even told all your Instagram followers that you were nervous.
I did.
But there are less people watching than you have.
I don't think I cussed either.
You didn't cuss either, which is more than we did last week. We had multiple cussers on it on the show.
Do you have to like bleep this out? I don't know.
No,
I didn't ask if I was allowed.
This is a family show, but it's not like really a family show. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
No one's making their kid. No one's making their kid watch Camera Shop Talk. Who knows? Maybe they are. All right, we're gonna go. This has been Camera Shop Talk. Brittni, thank you so much for joining us, guys. I'm gonna put Brittni. Do you have a website?
Yes, BrittniBell.com.
BrittniBell.com. It's because you spell your name differently than any Brittni I've ever known, which is why
I was about to say, how did you get BrittniBell.com?
It's BRITTNI.
Yes.
Yeah.
BLL.com. Yep.
I'll put it in the comments below, so you can click on it, check out her work. If you need food photography, commercial, editorial stuff, then check it out. So there's more comments, but we reached our comment max. What's going on there? There we go. Ashlyn. Ashlyn is catching the tail end of this discussion, but she says it looks like a goodie. Ashlyn, go back when we're done with this and watch the whole thing. It was awesome. Brittni, thanks for being on. Hang out with us while I end this broadcast, and then we can drop all the F-bombs we want. Oh,
Mom, that's an Avs shirt.
It's an Avalanche shirt. It's from their. I didn't put this on the screen before we go. Brittni, you don't know this by what? Maybe you do, but I have a really bad. I'm really bad at ending the show, and everyone watching is like.
I just watched one. Well, I mean, I've seen a couple, but I watched one all the way through to the end,
right?
And I noticed it wasn't great.
I couldn't get out. Yeah, thank you. But because could Kyle be wearing any more sports wardrobe? And I could be. I just have khaki pants on.
Do you have your baseball pants on?
No, I don't.
Do you wear those on the reg?
I don't. And so, but I haven't got a haircut in 5 weeks. And so it's getting out there, and I'm seeing how long I can wear this Rockies hat until I break and let my roommate shave my head, which is never going to happen. I like my hair too much. But
I might shave my head.
Mitch's mom, this is a Colorado Avalanche shirt from the outdoor game that happened at Coors Field 4 years ago. But
we can pretend it's a Cubs shirt.
It does look like a Cubs shirt. So
yeah, we can pretend.
Yeah, cool. This has been Camera Shop Talk. We're going to go now. We'll be back tomorrow. We haven't found a guest for tomorrow, but on Wednesday we have large format photographer, and he's going to be, sorry, I'm so bad at this. I'm drawing a blank on his Alex Burke. Sorry. Been talking for 2 days. Alex Burke is going to jump on. He's from Northern Colorado, and he does really great 8x10 landscape work that I'm super excited to talk to him about. So Mitch is super excited too. Aren't you, Mitch?
Yeah. Well, somebody just asked if there's any hopes of a medium large format talk, and that is tomorrow. So
that's that's going to be on Wednesday, and we might even talk about some tomorrow. So cool.
Oh, wait. Oh, you just said Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's like end the
podcast.
I'm
just
going to. There we go.
Wealth of information, accurate.
I'm out of here.
Okay. Bye, everyone.